Welcome back to another one. Take a look, guys. This is my new garage, and I will show you in detail what it all looks like and what I have planned. I'm here. I've made the move. Cars are here. New garage, new setup. It is not even close to completed or even set up the way I want it to be, but it's gonna get there. So let me flip some lights on here real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm kind of working with. And you can tell me what you think about it. And I'll kind of give you a little rundown on what I think I'm gonna do. This is what I've got. Here's what I've got. The Viper made it. Ferrari's here, guys. There is a ton of room. I'm ecstatic over having room on the sides of these cars. And between them, I have way more room than I had before in any of the garages I've been in. So I don't even have words for how excited I am about having the room and the space here for this. I have all of the room that I'm ever gonna need here. And I think what we're gonna do is, obviously this is gonna be kind of a shop workspace area, toolboxes, workspace area, probably some shelving or something like that. I haven't decided 100% how this is gonna be laid out, but it's gonna get set up in a good way that's useful. Over here, where the Ferrari is, I think this is gonna end up being a 2-post lift bay, and this will be a 4-post lift bay for storing cars, where I'll either have the Viper on top and the Maserati below, or vice versa, I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter as long as it can hold or store cars, but then also can be used technically to work on cars if I need to also. The Gran Turismo, as you guys can see over here, let me walk over and I'll show you, is it's over here, and I've got a ton of junk that I need to go through and sort to move into the house. That's gonna take probably a month or two, I don't know. It's just gonna take time. If you guys have ever made a move, you know exactly kind of what I'm talking about. It's a daunting task to kind of go through everything you got, find out if it's useful, or either throw it away or do something with it. But as far as the garage goes, I want to throw some paint on the ceilings, the walls, the whole thing, including the baseboards, a darker color, something that doesn't really reflect light terribly, so that the videos don't end up looking washed out. The lights here will go, I've got these wired in such a way that back one's on its own circuit. These two up here are on one circuit as well. I've got outlets everywhere. I basically, when we built this house, we set it all up so that there was outlets everywhere that I needed them to be next to cars. Some of them are dedicated. I don't have 220 volts set up for a lift. However, power coming into the house is right over here on this side of the house. So we'll be okay. The opener's gonna have to go as well. This will probably get taken down entirely and moved over to a side mounted opener. It'll probably cost a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too terrible. But at the end of the day, I need the ceiling space here, especially if I'm gonna have a 4-post lift over here. You double stack cars, you're gonna need all that ceiling space that you can possibly get. Getting as much of that out of the way is kind of paramount. It's key to making this all work. And then we can kind of start addressing the other things like paint throughout the whole thing. I'll probably do Hexagon lights on the ceiling or something bright, some bright LEDs so that I can see what I'm working on. You guys can see the cars, see everything that's being done, so you can see everything I'm working on with my hands. That's the point, right? You want to see what's happening. Otherwise, there's not really a point to be watching the videos if they suck. So, paint, lights, lifts, flooring. Guys, this one's, I've kind of debated over this. I had the concrete poured to 6 inches thick. So the lifts would actually work out well and we wouldn't have any structural problems. I may still have small cracking here and there, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. This will be my first lift install in my own house. Maybe if you guys got tips out there, if you have information, shoot it my way, happy to look at it. I'm looking at a couple different brands. I think Halo Lifts was one of the ones I was looking at. I've seen a few of them in person. They've got decent pricing. They look like solid units. I don't need anything crazy that's like 10, 12,000 pounds or anything like that. As far as floors go though, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think what I might do is do the tiles, the matching interlocking tile stuff. I've done epoxy on floors before, guys, and I've run, like floor jacks and things, actually had chemical spill on it and stuff. And it does beat floors up a little bit. And, you throw that clear like epoxy over the top of the finish on those floors. And sometimes if it doesn't have the right stuff in it, it will yellow over time and it'll look like garbage, or it'll scratch up and haze. So I've had good and bad experiences with it myself in other homes or garages I've had. And so I think I might just go with the interlocking tiles to do something different that's a little easier to set up. And then if something like, I don't know, let's say I drop something on the floor, I can just, it destroys a tile, I can just pull the tile up and replace it with another one for $2-3. It's not a big deal. If you guys have tips or if you have information on those, please let me know. Like, I'm kind of curious how it's gonna work dragging floor jacks over those kinds of things. And, obviously using a rolling chair and things like that. From what I've seen from people, they say that it works out okay, but like, I don't know. I've never done it myself, so I have no idea if it's gonna turn out that way or not. It's different for everybody. Their experience is generally a little bit different, and also depends on the floor tiles that you get. So as far as cars go, the Ferrari needs a little bit of work still, and I've got actually, let me show you. I've got some cool stuff that is gonna go on this thing, and we'll do it in a few other videos. Front trunk, the frunk. I picked up some cool stuff for this car before I moved, and I just kind of threw it in the frunk and moved with it. And what I ended up getting was some goodies for what should be a planned performance upgrades, but we've got a Ferrari 360 Challenge air intake duct. These things are stupid rare. There's not many of these left. If you try to go order one of these from Ferrari, I think there's 4 of them left at the factory. I got one of the 5 that was left. Not cheap, extremely expensive. Some of y'all are gonna call me crazy for doing this, but the factory air intake duct, as you can see here, it necks down, and it basically is an opening for draining water, and it necks down and it goes to the airbox. I wanted the biggest free-flowing factory fit thing that I could find that would work and go to the factory airbox to open up the intake as much as possible. And this is what I found. And it pretty much is a 5-inch intake tube. This thing is massive and it's all carbon fiber. That's probably why the price tag is hefty on it. So yes, this is gonna go in combination with the air filters that I already have in the airbox. And when I eventually do the 360 Trev tune, to reflash both the ECUs and the TCU so that this thing has as much power as I could possibly get out of it. We'll throw that in there. The other thing, and I can't really unwrap them and show you, but I will later, I picked up some Challenge Stradale-style carbon fiber airbox lids. These things were a pretty penny also. They are not cheap. These are goodies, but the reason I did this was I also have, with those airbox lids, I've got 2 F430 MAFs. You'll gain a little power on the top end and the MAFs won't fall flat. They will actually read all the way through the rev range and they'll be a little bit more accurate. I figured with the 360 Challenge air intake pipe that we've got here, along with the airbox lids and the MAF, I'm opening the intake up as much as I possibly can, aside from doing something radical like cutting off, parts of the intake manifold, welding on larger flanges, stuff I'm not gonna do. Like, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm gonna open everything I can, as big as I can, up to the throttle bodies and kind of run with it and see how it goes. Finally got a hold of a carbon fiber instrument cluster trim. But it will complete the 360 Challenge cluster conversion that I did earlier before I made the move, and it will kind of complete the look so that it looks exactly like it's supposed to. I'd like to fix this front bumper. It's not perfect. I'd like to, if I can, convert it to a Challenge Stradale front bumper, side skirts, probably rear bumper setup, possibly, I don't know, the deck lid here. I've got a nasty scratch here in the deck lid, which kind of sucks, but that gives me kind of a chance to go through and maybe, convert this deck lid to be kind of like the Challenge Stradale one. And then ultimately what I'd like to do is throw the pinstripe down the center, carbon fiber mirrors on it, call it a day. I don't know, I might swap some seats out, but beyond that, it's still a Modena. It's not an actual 360 Challenge Stradale, but it'll have the power of one, maybe more, probably more. It will have some of the looks, Lofty goals, lots of money it's gonna take probably to get there. It won't happen overnight, but it will get there eventually. This thing, I took this thing out, the Viper, and drove it around just to kind of put a little bit of miles on it. It's got some old gas in it that needs to be driven out of it. It's probably been sitting for about 6 months. Not great. I may actually just go and I might just go drain the gas out of it at this point, but there's some things on it I don't like that I did earlier in kind of a rush to get it out the door or running. The fuel pump setup, I don't know if you guys know anything about the fuel pump setup on these things. It is a siphon jet pump that's in a fuel basket. And so what it does is it fills the basket and the pump sucks from the basket. And a lot of people, they will do like booster pumps. They will do, hack in a pump and cut out the bottom. You do all that kind of stuff and you start to lose the factory functionality, like the fuel sender. So then your factory fuel gauge doesn't really work well. So you do that and then you're driving down the freeway and hey, you get to quarter tank of gas and now it's kind of unreliable whether or not you're gonna make it home or there's gonna be problems. So I don't wanna run into that. I'm gonna change that out. I'm gonna fix that at some point. This car needs to be gone through a little bit. It's got a boost leak. I need some tuning that needs to be fixed on it. I'm not a tuner, but it does drive okay for what it does. It just doesn't hold boost very well. And I've been talking about this probably for months and you've seen me mention it in other videos. And once I get this thing on a lift, I will be able to do all that finally with ease. So anyway, drove this thing around, drove pretty good. The car is awesome. I love it. I haven't driven it in a while, and so I still get a kick out of it. Gran Turismo sitting over here, it has leaking valve cover gasket. One or two, but we're doing them both anyway, so it doesn't matter. I started it up, let it idle there, and idle, get up to temp, and saw a little puff of smoke, and saw, I know that it needs valve cover gaskets, and I've been kind of putting it off only because I didn't have a great place to take it apart, and I was moving, so I didn't really have a time and really a good place to do it. Now I do. So that may be one of the first videos or content that comes out of this. Anyway, besides all that with the cars, guys, I've got big plans for this. This garage is gonna transform. It's gonna be awesome and usable in more ways than I have had before with any of my spaces. I opted for a sink in here too, which, in a house with a garage, it's kind of a necessity if you're working on cars and, having a sink. I may at some point, let's see, I want to put in a mini splitter, an AC unit here somewhere right about midway. I think that will be a huge benefit here. Air conditioned, painted lights, floors, lifts. You can't really ask for any more. It's kind of a car guy's dream to have all that stuff and be able to do everything you need to do easily without rolling around on the floor. And using jack stands and doing shuffle with jacks and all that stuff. Saving your knees and your back. That's the goal, or at least my goal anyway. So guys, this is what I've been kind of dealing with here for the past few months. It's been kind of a grueling battle to get here. A little bit uphill, but I'm here. I finally have it, it's done. Let me go show you what my backyard looks like, which is kind of cool. Simply because I've got space and it looks amazing outside. So this is my backyard. Now there's still houses under construction here, but I have a good sized backyard that I can do all sorts of cool stuff with. Where I was at in Texas, it was getting extremely crowded. And honestly, I've been there my entire life and I've kind of seen everything go from kind of like what it is now out here to basically full-blown traffic and developments and building and cutting into every hill and every spot or piece of land that exists. That's kind of what's going on in Texas. So I don't know if you guys know that or not, but Texas is open for business and it has been for a long time, and there's people and businesses flooding in there left and right, and it is insane. It is not what it used to be. It is not even close to what it was when I grew up, and it's rapidly accelerated, I want to say, in the past 5 to 7 years, and it's out of control in my opinion. But that's just my personal opinion. Like I say, I wanted a little bit of slower pace of life. I wanted something that was a little bit quieter, a little more, space to stretch my legs out and just kind of take it easy. And that's kind of what led me out here. So I don't want to change anything that's here, guys. I want to kind of absorb into what the culture is here. It's good for a reason, and it should stay that way. Goal here is to basically build the garage up, show you guys some more content, and see if we can't get some more cool cars on the channel.